In Osaka, a girl named Yoshino is told by her grandpa that she will be engaged to a boy whose family is part of the Yakuza. Her grandpa is best friends with the boy's father. The girl goes to Tokyo to meet the boy. When she arrives, she compliments the best friend of her grandpa named Gaku. Then, she asks to meet the boy, and is surprised to find out that the boy Kirishima, who was with her the whole time, never said he was the one. Kirishima shows her a room they fixed up for her since she was going to live there. Yoshino says she never agreed to the offer, and Kirishima says, "It's your choice." The next day, Kirishima and Yoshino go to school together. Seeing her with Kirishima, many girls who like him ask Yoshino who she is to him. After classes, Yoshino goes with Kirishima and mentions how many girls were giving her strange looks. When she asks if it ever bothers him when people look at him strangely, Kirishima replies with a grin and a dark expression, "No." During the night, Yoshino can't sleep and sees Kirishima outside with blood on his arm, looking like a true Yakuza. The next day at school, Yoshino asks Kirishima to come with her in the evening so she can buy some things. In the evening, Yoshino tells Kirishima to wait while she withdraws some cash. While walking alone, Yoshino is harassed by some guys, but Kirishima shows up, beats them up, and then leaves with Yoshino. Kirishima tells her he thought she would be different from other girls, but she's so normal that it annoys him, and he doesn't care about her anymore. He says that since she's only good for her looks and body, she should sell herself to make some money. He even tells her to go home and tell her grandpa what he said. Kirishima doesn't care at all, even if it leads to a war between the Tokyo Yakuza and Osaka Yakuza, or if he ends up dead. While cleaning her shoes, Yoshino gets a call from her grandpa. He immediately senses something is wrong, but tells her, "No matter what, stay for 1 year, make Kirishima fall deeply in love with you, then dump him and come back to Osaka." Yoshino decides to follow her grandpa's advice. She makes a call, and the next day at school, she tells Kirishima that she sold one of her kidneys for 4 million yen. She then adds that she won't go back to Osaka, no matter what. Kirishima quickly grabs Yoshino's hand and tells her to ruin his life. He says he loves her, wants to marry her, and that she made his thing rise. Yoshino checks to see if Kirishima is nearby, because she doesn't want him around, but he still finds her easily using a GPS he put on her. Yoshino gets angry and breaks the phone after finding out she was tracked without knowing. Kirishima moves closer to Yoshino and says they'll have a family meeting later. Since the boss, Gaku, was busy, Takabana and Inamori came. Takabana explained that another girl the same age as Yoshino had gone missing, so she shouldn't go out often. If she does, she should stay with Kirishima or use Inamori, but never go alone. Yoshino decides to go for a ride with Inamori because her hairdryer stopped working. From Inamori, Yoshino learns that Kirishima joined the Yakuza family at a young age because he had fought with many people, and his family couldn't control him. That's when Gaku took him in and brought him into the Yakuza. While driving through the city and waiting in traffic, Yoshino spots the girl who was reported missing, entering a bar. She then informs Kirishima about it. Kirishima arrives, meets up with Yoshino, and tells her to stay close to him because of the crowd. Kirishima kicks the door open and talks to Shiori, the missing girl. He tells her to fix the problems she caused or deal with the Yakuza family together with her father. While Kirishima is talking, Yoshino stands by the door, but gets pushed to the ground by some other guys. This makes Kirishima to decide that no one will leave the room alive. He starts beating everyone in the room. Seeing this, Yoshino gets up and kicks the guys who pushed her down. She yells at him for causing her to break her hairdryer, and tells him to shut up. The next day, Shiori and her father are expelled from the Yakuza family. From the previous night, Kirishima earns $63,000 for finding Shiori and gives it to Yoshino. She tells him she doesn't want the money, just a new hairdryer since she broke the old one, and asks him to come with her. Kirishima notices a guy on a motorcycle staring at them. Both see each other on the eye. And then Kirishima leaves and other boy leaves too. The next day, While spending time with another woman, Kirishima shows her a photo of Yoshino. Based on what Kirishima says about Yoshino, the woman concludes that Yoshino hates him. Kirishima watches Yoshino as she sleeps. Thinking someone might attack her, Yoshino grabs a knife, and they both go into attack mode. She then tells him not to enter her room without permission. Kirishima says he wanted to know if Yoshino hates him. She replies that she's mad because he doesn't follow simple rules, and she never knows what to expect from him. When Yoshino mentions she noticed him fooling around with another girl, Kirishima asks why she isn't mad. She replies, "I don't like you, so you're free to do whatever you want. But if I did like you, I'd have killed you by now." Kirishima then tells her he loves her and promises to make her love him so much that she'll want to kill him. The next day, all the Yakuza bosses gather for a meeting. Meanwhile, Kirishima shows Yoshino that Gaku appears in only 10 photos from his teenage years, while her grandpa, Renji, is in all of them, revealing that they were really good friends back then. Renji meets up with Gaku, and, knowing his best friend loves sweets, slips some candies into his jacket. Another friend, Akashiba, arrives, and Renji gives him some candy too. Gaku then leaves with Akashiba. Yoshino meets up with Takedo, a member of her grandpa's Yakuza family who has cared for her since she was a baby. He tells Yoshino to ask Kirishima to visit her grandpa's place sometimes so he can get to know him better and see if he's a good guy who can take care of her. Then a guy named Shoma, Yoshino's friend for years, shows up. He came to give her an album she had asked for, but Yoshino insists he should buy more clothes since he only has one pair and didn't bring any others. After changing clothes, Shoma and Yoshino have a meal together. Shoma asks her about her boyfriend, Kirishima, and if she's serious about him. Yoshino replies that she's only staying for a year to make Kirishima fall deeply in love with her, then she plans to dump him and go back home. After eating too much, Yoshino and Shoma rent a room. While spending time with him, Yoshino says, "Sometimes I really want to come back home and spend time with you and Grandpa." Hearing this, Shoma offers to deal with Kirishima, saying he doesn't care about the consequences. He then tells her to let him know whenever she wants to get rid of Kirishima. When Shoma goes outside to smoke, he runs into Kirishima.